Hey there, Hastings. Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're looking at something you've probably walked past 100 times without a second thought. We're going to explore how a humble, everyday plastic pail, sitting right inside Jake Morey's hometown Ace Hardware, actually holds a beautiful million-dollar mystery. We really set out to make an explainer that people living right here in Hastings, Minnesota will absolutely love and want to share with their neighbors. So to do that, we made sure to keep things completely factual, to tell what is honestly just a gorgeous tribute to our town. So I want you to picture the scene. You're walking into hometown Ace Hardware over on South Frontage Road, and right there, greeting you at the door, is one of the most ordinary, unglamorous things you could possibly imagine. A big stack of plastic buckets. 5 gallons, handle included. But here's the wild part. For one weekend, right here in Hastings, that incredibly mundane object literally transforms into a vessel for millions of dollars. You kind of have to ask yourself, how does a simple plastic pail do that? Well, if you stop and ask Justin at the store, you instantly get a glimpse of that local charm we all know and love. You can fill that bucket with tools, maybe some early Christmas gifts, and yes, even Yeti cups. Justin says they're in, so you're good to go. And of course, because this is our hometown hardware store, there is apparently free popcorn waiting for you too. It's that exact local flavor that makes this whole event feel so uniquely ours, you know? Okay, let's dive into how this promotion actually works because the mechanics running through August 9th, 2026 are just elegantly simple. Step 1, you donate $5. Step 2, you get your 5-gallon bucket. Step 3, you pack it with eligible merchandise. And step 4, you save 20% on almost everything you manage to fit inside. It's this brilliant, highly visual promotion. It's useful, and honestly, it's just a lot of fun. But standing there, staring at this giant stack of buckets, a central mystery kind of pops up. Who actually invented this? I mean, really think about it. Who was the very first person to look at a 5-gallon hardware store pail and think, hey, what if we turn this thing into a shopping cart? What if the bucket itself became the boundary of the sale? Now, as I mentioned, we promised you a totally factual explainer today, one completely free of those wild internet rumors. So the honest short answer is, we don't know. The original inventor is lost to retail folk wisdom. The internet loves to make uncertain history sound like absolute fact, but we couldn't find a reliable historical source identifying the very first person or store to invent this idea. But frankly, the verifiable truth we did find is even more gorgeous than a made-up origin story. Let's trace the hard, verifiable paper trail we do have. While the bucket concept itself came a bit later, ACE's charitable relationship with Children's Miracle Network hospitals stretches all the way back to 1991. Fast forward to July of 2013, and a Wisconsin report documents the exact miracle bucket formula we use today. By August 2022, ACE officially celebrated its 10th annual event, completely backing up that 2013 timeline. And here we are tracking right up to the August 2026 event. We know exactly how long the specific charitable tradition has been going strong. And you have to see the result of that timeline. $250 million. That is a staggering number. That's the total amount ACE's retailers, customers, vendor partners, and corporate employees have raised for Children's Miracle Network hospitals over the course of their partnership since 1991. And the best part? The local money raised goes straight to the local member hospitals serving the community. Now, if $250 million feels a little too abstract, let's just look at a recent single year. One Children's Hospital Foundation reported that the 2025 Miracle Bucket campaign alone raised more than $1.6 million. It brilliantly illustrates the sheer power of compounding generosity. A fun little weekend sale generates this massive, life-changing impact for kids who need it most. But let's bring those massive national numbers back down to earth for a second. How on earth do you raise $1.6 million in a single weekend? Well, you do it $5 at a time, one plastic bucket at a time, one neighborhood hardware store at a time. It's the sheer neighborhood scale of this philanthropy that makes it so wildly successful. So why do we love this specific type of sales so much? Let's shift gears to retail psychology for a minute. Most standard sales communicate through abstract numbers, right? Like 20% off or buy one, get one. But bucket sales, they turn a discount into a physical puzzle. Suddenly, you aren't just pushing a boring cart down an aisle. You are actively engaged in this hands-on spatial challenge. It becomes the ultimate packing puzzle. You start strategizing like crazy. Could those work gloves slide perfectly beside the drill bits? Wait, if I buy an empty flower pot, can I stash all my batteries inside of it? Can you stand a bottle upright and meticulously tuck tape measures all the way around the edges? It's just sheer, unadulterated fun trying to pack as much value as humanly possible inside a 5-gallon limit.
And this brilliantly illustrates why our brains love this. The bucket creates a hard boundary, and that boundary is exactly what makes the sales so fun. Limits actually enhance our experience. You can physically see the deal in front of you. You can carry it, you can strategize around it, and unlike a digital coupon that just vanishes the second you tap your card, you actually get to take the bucket home with you.
There's also something deeply poetic about this happening in a hardware store. Think about it. People rarely walk into a hardware store because everything in their life is already perfect. The faucet leaks, the screen tore, the mower blade is dull. Ultimately, hardware stores exist because of a fundamentally hopeful proposition that something that isn't working can often be made better. And isn't that exactly what we're doing for the community when we buy this bucket? We are pitching in to fix what's broken.
Let's look at the deeper metaphor here. Now, there probably wasn't a philosopher sitting in the marketing meeting that day, but a bucket is useful precisely because it has limits. Without sides, it can't hold anything. The bucket forces a decision. You only have so much room, so what deserves a place inside? Modern life is always telling us to get a bigger container, more storage, more stuff. But the bucket asks, if your container couldn't get any bigger, what would you prioritize? It turns out a boundary can actually create abundance. So, the absolutely crucial point is how the charitable element changes this metaphor one last time. You walk in thinking about what you'll put in your bucket, but your initial transaction is entirely directed towards someone else's need. Generosity doesn't require an unlimited vessel. It just requires deciding that some of what passes through our hands should benefit somebody else. The bucket has a bottom. Generosity doesn't. It's just a gorgeously simple core idea. We often think of philanthropy as, giant hospital wings and million-dollar galas. But here in Hastings, true community is built through unremarkable, repeated acts of participation. It's $5 donations, it's taking a quick volunteer shift, it's dropping off a meal at a neighbor's house after a bad storm. And sometimes showing up just looks like buying a plain white plastic bucket. And that brings this story firmly back to our own backyard. Hometown Ace Hardware, officially operated by local owner Jake Morey, is sitting right there at 1355 South Frontage Road. This isn't just a national story, folks. It's a Hastings story. It's our local store serving our local neighborhoods, participating in a tradition that brings us all together. But Hastings, I have a bit of a challenge for you, and I need your help to solve a mystery. Do any of you remember a bucket sale older than 2013? Maybe an old True Value owner remembers doing it way back in 1974, or maybe a farm supply store tried it decades ago. I want you to check your basements, your scrapbooks, and your filing cabinets. If you find an old flyer, an advertisement, or a receipt, we want to see it. You might literally hold the missing first chapter of this wonderfully strange retail tradition. Until we find that original inventor, the story doesn't really need one to have meaning. It just needs us to show up. So the next time you walk into the hardware store to take care of your home, your garden, or your tools, remember, you can also take care of your neighborhood at the exact same time. The bucket is yours. 5 gallons, 1 handle, a store full of possibilities. So, what are you putting in your bucket? Be sure to share this explainer with your neighbors, get down to the store, and let's see how much good can come out of it.